Welcome to Tile Trends by Tile Club, where we explore all things home design, lifestyle, and the transformative power of tiles. I'm your host, Lindsay Flickiger, and today we're joined by the incredible Jennifer Kizzee. From her early days in Veracruz, Mexico, to her successful stint in sales and marketing in the US, Jennifer always had a passion for design. In 2016, she embraced this calling by launching Jennifer Kizzee Design alongside her husband, John. Focused on blending aesthetics with real-life functionality, she crafts spaces that both parents and children can enjoy. Based in League City, Texas, Jennifer brings modern coastal vibes influenced by her tropical upbringing, while also juggling the joys of raising 4 lively kids. Jennifer, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Likewise, we can't wait to get the discussion rolling and learn a little bit more about you today. So let's dive right in. Your Moroccan-style bathroom retreat using Tile Club's Spanish Siesta tiles is simply stunning. We've reshared it many times on our social. We oftentimes have people comment on it and ask us all about the design, the tiles. Could you share with our listeners how you approached this project and why you chose those particular styles?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm so excited to hear that, it's gotten very popular. So I really wanted to create a space that was very vibrant and, just serene and tranquil. And the Spanish Siesta tile was just the perfect fit because, all of the rich tones and all the beautiful, patterns, all of those, elements combined that really set the foundation for this Moroccan aesthetic.
Yeah, they definitely did. And I love all of the colors and how everything just tied in so perfectly with that. Let's talk about your design aesthetic. What inspires you as a designer?
Well, as you can tell by my accent, I'm not from around here, and I'm from Mexico and southern Mexico, and so I'm very influenced by my Hispanic or Latin roots and my love for organic and natural elements and things like that. So myself and my team, we're really striving to create spaces that, evoke, warmth and vibrancy. But the one thing that is super important for us is to make sure that they're also livable and functional spaces for pretty much any family.
I love that. Yeah, functional is so important. I feel like once we got through the pandemic, we really kind of came out of that, whatever that was. Really looking at functionality.
It's all behind us now.
Yeah, I always call it the blip. It was this crazy blip in time. But
Yeah.
we came out of that really combining spaces or really looking how we can make a kitchen also function as an office. So functionality, I think, has really come to the forefront of design.
Couldn't agree more with that statement. And I always say my clients, we know that we can make any space beautiful. We got you covered, but the function aspect of it has to be there, hands down.
Yes. Well, speaking of functionality, designing for families, you're a mother to 4 active children. So I can relate, and it's chaos, but I love it. How do you balance the demands of motherhood with a high career in interior design?
Okay, so I personally, I really love and enjoy, both roles, and a lot of the things or the designs that we bring together are inspired by our everyday living, and that just kind of sparks fuel into my brain and my team's brain on how we can make the spaces for our clients even better. Because we're right in their shoes, we know how the family functions and what their standard needs, and then from there we can just customize it to their specific needs.
That's wonderful. Are there any specific designs or advice that you would give to mothers who are looking to create a more functional home?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that as designers, as professionals, and we understand all the products out there, right? When maybe just a client knows a few things that they get to see at the store, but getting materials incorporated into the spaces that are easy to clean and zero maintenance and all those things, I think that really is a love language for any mother in the world. Because if I can have a beautiful space, but I don't have to worry about every single aspect, or if people are going to be drinking wine on my brand new white sofa, right? Like, how can we make it better by, bringing performance fabrics or a scratch resistant, flooring if kids are running around and all those things, right? We know what's out there, and it's our job, right, to put it in front of our clients so they can really enjoy their lives, enjoy their families, have a beautiful home without all the stress that could come with it, right?
It's so true. So true. We actually just installed a new backsplash in my kitchen, and I've only ever had a backsplash in one other home in my life. And so it's such a treat for me because my kids are messy. We have dogs, and it has just changed the entire space and made me feel more confident. Like, this is going to be easy. I can just wipe and go, like, it's fine. And it's amazing how something so simple can simplify your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I had marble at some point in my life, even myself being a designer, I still did it. And so I used myself as an example, like what not to do in your kitchen. So I'll always discourage anybody from using a natural stone if you're not that person, that is not going to maintain it unless you absolutely, love the edging and all the natural patina that comes, later on. But yeah, function is number one for us for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great insight to marble. I'll try to remember that when we're replacing countertops.
Just call me. Just call me. I'll talk you out of it.
Yeah, I'll have to set up a consultation with you. I love
Yeah.
it. So now, as someone at the forefront of interior design, what are some current trends that you're loving, and are there any that you just don't care for?
Yeah. Well, personally, I love transitional style. I would say that coastal or modern coastal is dear to my heart, knowing that I grew up in southern Mexico by the water and a very tropical state. 110 degrees almost every single day, year round. It's super, super hot. But when you look at our portfolio, when you look at our work, you will see that we're heavily on ocean colors, organic elements. I love rattan. And funny enough, rattan has been so, so popular, and cane webbing and all those, elements that make, a piece of furniture or any other space, a lot more organic. And it is very heavy, and I think it's here to stay. A lot of the trends that I'm seeing personally is the use of a lot of natural stones, a lot of natural materials like Moroccan-style is one of them. We've seen a lot of terracotta influence, so leaf styles, and you will see a lot more limestone, flooring, through our kitchens, right? Which is not necessarily your most typical, material to use in interior space, right? You will see it more exterior. So bringing the nature or bringing the outdoors indoors, it's truly what's trending right now, but I do believe that it's here to stay for a long time.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And I love everything you said about just like the terracotta look, the Zelish tiles and things like that. It really does bring in those natural elements and helps connect you with the outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
So it's always interesting to hear different perspectives on design trends. So to follow up with that, are there any trends that you would love to see go?
When the whole farmhouse, this style, came out and people took it to the chicken wire stage, I couldn't wait the day it will go away. I think there's elements. I know you're laughing, but I know there's elements that we love, and they're great, for country homes or like southern veranda, type of how type of houses or style. But I would say that. Over the top Scandinavian is just seems a little bit too cold for me. And even when we design, homes, or we work with clients that are building homes, 20 plus, or 25-foot ceilings, it seems very cold. And I'm all about the warmth. And, if I take a color, spin wheel, I'll always be gravitating towards the warmer type of tones. And you will definitely see that reflect in the work that we do every day. So there's a lot of, ways to bring that, warm and togetherness and that cozy feel, it has to be there. So I would say anything that is over the top, way too modern, too contemporary, that feels cool, I will probably run for the hills and, find my safe space in a very warm type of home.
Wonderful. I love that. I'm the same way. I love being able to walk into my home and feel the warmth of different textures, and colors and kind of the richness that really is inviting when people come over, and it just
Yeah,
feels good when you walk in. So yeah,
absolutely.
I got a giggle in at your chicken wire comment.
Yes. I mean, some people just took it to another level, but we're happy to take the chicken wire down,
Yeah,
take the
so,
cow, the
so
cows, pictures down. We'll happily do it for you.
yes, yes. Oh, how funny. All right. So now that we've heard a little bit more about your own personal aesthetic, design trends that you're enjoying, and those that you'd like to see go, can you tell us? So let's imagine that maybe one of our listeners out there is feeling a bit tired of their current decor. Perhaps they have some chicken wire on their walls.
Perhaps.
What advice would you give them?
Yeah. So I know, like, tackling a house or trying to change the feel of a house can be daunting because, we don't know where to start. And I'm sure, somebody out there relates to this, but, I'm sure you've been at Home Goods or Target and spend $500 in a bunch of decor. And then when you put it in your home, it feels like nothing happened. My advice is to start small, but focus on one room at a time instead of sprinkling a bunch of candy on 100 cupcakes. Sprinkle maybe on one or two at a time. That's how you will see the most impact. So, start with your bedroom, start with the living room, and then just focus on those. And then, once you get those taken care of, you can move to the next one, and you will feel a whole lot more accomplished, knowing that you were able to make those changes, right? Without spending a ton of money, but really making it more intentional by just focusing on one space or two spaces at a time. It always works like a charm because I've been on the other side, like, going to a bunch of stores and coming with a bunch of bags. And then I put it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, where did it go? Right? Like it looks the same. So yeah, that would be definitely my advice and probably the most practical and cheaper one as well.
Yeah. Oh man, you nailed it. I think every woman has gone through that where they've gone to, like you said, Home Goods or, wherever, gotten all the things, and then you're going, that's it.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe I do need to call a designer, but you
Yeah.
can definitely do it. If to the listeners, you can do it. Just try to just focus on room by room. Just tackle it room by room. In other words, that will probably pay off sooner.
Do you have advice for, like, let's say they are just going, oh, this whole house needs an overhaul. What's your advice on like which room to start? Do you have a favorite room or one that you think is easier to tackle?
Yeah, I always start by just asking questions, to our client, to our potential clients, and understanding how they want to live. Do they entertain a lot, and what their priorities are? I would say let's just start there, like getting to know them, and then from there we can, really dial down to what are the spaces that need them attention like right away, and what can be more of a phase two. Typically, just working with a lot of families, it seems like the living spaces are in the kitchens are always the most important spaces because one is truly where you spend the most of the time. Right. And two, that's what gives you the bigger impression when you invite people over. That's where everybody likes to congregate anyways. So I would say that really thinking about how you want to use the space, but what's important to you specifically. It's the number one conversation, but then again, it seems like typically those open spaces are always number one on a lot of our clients' list.
Mm-hmm. That makes so much sense. I know from my home setup, it's a pretty open floor plan on the first floor, and you open the door, and the first thing you see is the kitchen.
Yes.
This is like if my kitchen is not together, then nothing is.
Yeah.
So like that's that focal point. That's the gathering place. It's great.
Absolutely. One thing that I've seen recently, or well, we're also designing them like that way, is that we're creating an additional kitchen or a service kitchen. Some other people call it a chef's kitchen, and that's just right behind your primary kitchen space. But that's where all the dirty dishes go, and they're all behind walls, so you don't have to tackle them every time somebody wants to, visit and come over, they can always be tucked in the back, and then you'll get to it when you get to it.
Yes, I have seen that trending. I've seen it called a scullery.
Yeah,
And
that's also another name for it. And I think genius. It kind of releases, the pressure of, just keeping your house neat. And, we just got to tell the kids that, they have to use the kitchen in the back, right? And then leave all of the other kitchen just for the show.
that's a brilliant idea. I love that. Functionality again.
Exactly. Always number one, functionality. Because if you feel like you're in a museum, it's probably not a good thing.
Yes, yes. We touched a little bit on your upbringing and your roots, and I would love to expound upon that and hear just a little bit more about how growing up in Mexico has shaped you as a designer as well as your personal aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've been in Mexico yourself personally. I'll invite you. We have to, go down, check out Mexico City. There's a lot of, great states, and outside the touristic, places, there's just so much culture and so much richness. So growing up, I was truly surrounded by, colors and elements, and just a strong, sense of community. And all of this, you bundle all that together, and it just, profoundly influenced, my design aesthetics. And I truly, I love incorporating, warm liveliness and just a sense of, togetherness and community. So here, in this country, it's just so fast paced. But down there, everybody's chilling. They work super hard, but there's a lot of time, for family, and, to go and enjoy, outdoors. And that I don't feel like that just happens in Mexico. I feel like, in a lot of Central and South America, the entire culture is very similar. Family comes first, work comes, next. And here it feels a little bit backwards, right? But we still, even with all of that, we still have to find that, middle ground where you get to balance it all. And it's easier, just to say it, right? Because I feel like we all struggle with that. But anyway, back to your question, all of that, it really made a huge, dent on the way, we design the spaces and how we tackle them, and how can we create an environment that just lets you decompress after a long day at work. So there you have it. From a true Mexican, right?
Yes, I would love to go. So let me know next time you're heading that way. I experienced that similar kind of lifestyle when I spent a summer in Italy. And I'll never forget. Yeah, my roommate and I were in Rome, and we had just landed, and we're kind of like bustling, and there's the Trevi Fountain, and there's this. We went and found this little cafe outside and got a bite to eat. And as we're leaving, the server goes, "No, what are you doing?" And we're like, "We got things to do. We want to go." And he's like, "No, you must stay. Like you need for this, and here's some bread." And he's like, "This is to relax. You need to like stop," because he said we had been there for 15 minutes. And I just experienced that for an entire month, and it really changed my life, and for the better. And I wish that our, communities would remember that, like, slow down. You have to. You're not in a hurry. It's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I love that. And I did read a little bit about that, they expect you to enjoy your meal and then have your coffee. Like that's, almost a requirement, or it's the expectation, right? That you're going to go and really take it all in. But we're just more like, let's go, because we got 5 more, places we want to hit. So, but I love that philosophy of, just embracing it, taking your time to breathe, and again, decompress, and then we get to go, back to reality, at some point. So we have to enjoy it while we can, for sure.
Well, just even exploring different projects that you have in your portfolio, I can see the warmth and kind of the come relax and just enjoy. Like I see that in your aesthetic. And I love that. I hope there's many women listening and lots of moms who just really need to hear it's okay to slow down and have a space.
Absolutely. Yes. It's okay to sit down and drink your coffee on your couch, on your white couch.
Your white couch. Yes. Oh, I love it. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. I have one last question for you. Can you tell us
Absolutely.
what projects you're looking forward to for the rest of 2023?
So we just completed a vacation home. It's going to be feature on Airbnb pretty soon, starting September 1st. And I'm going to tell you, we had a lot of fun. Once because we got to do a lot of coastal vibes, and boho combined. You have to check it out. So if somebody calls me and say, Jennifer, we're going to give you 5 more houses on the water. They're all going to be modern coastal. Seriously, that will be like an early Christmas for me. So I'm looking forward to that. We're in the works of, talking to other homeowners that have a secondary vacation home. They want to, spruce up, furnish, and make it really fun for rental purposes. So I'm very excited about that. Hope it works out. So yeah, that's what has me very excited right now.
That's wonderful. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing all the
Thank
wonderful
you.
things going on for you and your design firm. We're wishing you the best of luck and just appreciate your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.